Have you ever seen a woman slowly pull away in a relationship and wondered why it's happening? Or hear a man say he's trying his best, only to lash out when he thinks it's not enough? Today, I want to explore a concept that is often misunderstood, especially in modern discussions about men and women. That concept is masculine containment of the feminine. First, let's clarify what I do not mean. I do not mean control. I do not mean a loss of autonomy. I'm not saying men must return to the 1700s model of masculinity and only provide money, food, or protection. However, I also need to clarify that those roles are not toxic or outdated in many cases. They're simply not the whole picture. Things like financial stability and protection still matter today in many cases. And for some women, it's still a core form of how they receive containment. But it is not universal, not exclusive, not sufficient on its own. Containment is not one size fits all. It evolves based on the man, the woman, the relationship, the moment, and the need. What one woman finds deeply containing, another may find irrelevant or even unattractive. The key to this is the masculine provides what is necessary. Sometimes it is strength. Sometimes it is calmness. Sometimes it is decisiveness. Sometimes it is softness. And sometimes it is simply listening. In my last video, I talked about the feminine as water and the masculine as stone. Water needs a real shoreline to crash against, one large enough, stable enough, and present enough to meet it. When the rock is too small, or weak, or brittle, water has to shrink itself, suppress its own force, in order to not overwhelm the shore. This shrinking is one of the quiet tragedies of the uncontained femininity. Many women shrink themselves, emotionally, creatively, intellectually, to fit into the limited containment a man can offer. And men sense this shrinking and will often interpret it as a withdrawal or disappointment. This leads to two mutual wounds: women feeling unmet and unsatisfied, men feeling inadequate, ashamed, or purposeless. Take, for example, my wife doesn't like driving a majority of the time. She hands me the keys without hesitation, gets into the passenger seat, and unwinds. I'm sure this dynamic is non-exclusive to her and I, and many of you can relate. To be clear, she's not incapable of driving. She just feels better not having to manage the external world in that moment. And I'm not being controlling by taking the wheel. I'm just offering structure. It feels good to her. And it feels good to me, even if I wasn't in the mood to drive at that moment. But here's the paradox. Women often crave containment, yet cannot fully open to receive it until they trust the container. Meanwhile, men often want to provide containment, but hesitate to offer it without feeling accepted or welcomed into that role. If we don't talk about this, men think women are testing them, and women think men are trying to dominate the situation. When really, women just want to know that a man is a safe place to lean into. And men just want to know that their efforts won't be rejected or mocked. I'd like to tell you two short stories. The first, of a woman named Lily. Lily married a man who could provide financially, but he could not provide emotionally. He could manage his company, but he could not manage his feelings or his drinking. He could build houses, but he could not build a home. He created income, but not security. He created chaos with his eschewing of his responsibilities, limited in his scope of what Lily needed to feel contained. She had to become her own container, and that forced her into masculine functioning, in addition to her roles as a wife and a mother. She never had a chance to soften, and this damaged her greatly over time. But now let me tell you a second story. A story about a man called Daniel. Daniel showed up for his wife. He offered stability. He offered presence. He offered openness. He listened. He made time. He led with dignity and grace. He made healthy containment. But his wife had been hurt before, emotionally shut down and guarded. She held her heart behind layers of armor. She never allowed herself to rest into him. She never received what he offered. And so Daniel became something many men quietly become: a full container with nothing inside. He felt useless, unwanted, confusingly obsolete. Not because he lacked effort, but because there was no trust, no receptivity, no yes from her. This is the other tragedy. Masculine containment cannot exist without feminine openness. And yet feminine openness cannot exist without masculine containment. They enable each other. They activate each other. So what does masculine containment actually look like? Well, it can be a strength of character, a sense of humor that can diffuse stress. It can be physical protection. It can be emotional depth. It can be folding laundry, a confident presence, a gentle touch, a stable routine, consistency in the small gestures, throwing a dinner together, speaking up when needed or staying silent if that's what's needed. If these sound all over the place, it's because they are. There is no single template. It is adaptive. If hardness is required, a man provides it. If softness is required, a man provides it. If stillness is required, a man provides it. And if motion is required, a man provides it. Masculinity is the art of meeting the moment. Men provide what is necessary, not what is convenient, not what is habitual, not what comes easy for them, what is necessary. Yes, masculinity is the energy of initiative and often includes things like strength and assertiveness. But it also includes tenderness, patience, and adaptability. The masculine is not a fixed identity. It is a dynamic responsibility. And containment, real containment, is simply the masculine saying, I am here. I can hold this. You don't have to shrink. You don't have to brace. You can expand into all that you are. And the feminine answering, I can rest here. I can open. I can receive, and I can be fully myself. That is masculine containment. Freedom through structure. Stone and water, each completing the other. If this resonates with you, I invite you to join me here for future videos. as we continue to explore this dynamic. Until next time, ladies, gentlemen, be good to each other.